Welcome back to Understanding Culture, Society, and Politics. In the previous video, we talked about different social realities brought about by behavior and different phenomena. We talked about standby, lagay, food taboos, same-sex partnership, and also padrino, which is also called use of a go-between. Now, for this lesson, we are going to discuss first about values and beliefs as behavior motivators. Now, in the 5 situations that we mentioned in the previous video, we can say that human behavior, whether that is an individual or collective behavior, it is caused by powerful motivators. In the perspective of social sciences, these motivators may be values or beliefs. Values are a person's collective principle or standard of behavior, which he uses in making judgment of what is important in life. Now, these are important and shared by the members of a culture, and with this they can tell about what is good, what is bad, what is desirable, and what is undesirable. Values are also used as criteria of the people in assessing their priorities in life, uh, in assessing their daily lives, and also in choosing between alternative courses of actions. Which one should I do? Which one should I not do? They make decisions based on their values. On the other hand, behavior. Mali! On the other hand, belief is something that a person accepts as true or real. Regardless of the existence of any evidence, belief takes a form of a firmly held opinion or conviction. It may be based on tradition, faith, experience, or probably scientific research, or a combination of any of those. Now, values and beliefs are commonly shared by a particular culture. Now, we're going to talk about social dynamics, social, political, and cultural change. Now, let's consider the following scenarios. This one is Jasmine. She got her cell phone on her birthday. Her parents gave it to her. And from the time she got her hand on the phone, taking selfies has been a habit of hers. And she has always been preoccupied by taking selfies. Now, this one is a representation of a political dynasty. There is a father who is an incumbent mayor, and probably the wife is running for being a congresswoman, and their son or their daughter is an incumbent SK chairman. So the other members of the family are also either an incumbent officer or running for office. The third scenario is a representation of transnational families. There's this student who lives alone in a certain place, but both of his parents are working in another country, and during vacation, he would go and visit them in that country. The next one is youth volunteerism. This is very common nowadays. Let's say, there's this student who would always try to find ways in order to help other people, whether they're like victims of a big storm, or probably a victim of the volcano eruption, or those who are having a hard time now during the pandemic. And the last scenario would be on mobile gaming. We know many students who actually sometimes miss chances to finish schooling because they spend more time playing games. Now, these 5 scenarios represent behavior and situations that are either new, emerging, or familiar. Scenario one on taking selfies is a recent behavioral pattern due to the infiltration of new technology. Scenario five is similar. This is a fast becoming normal behavioral pattern for young people, younger members of the Filipino society. They spend a lot of time playing mobile games. Scenario three, the transnational families can be considered as an emerging pattern of family relations. There are now more and more families who are separated because their parents had to work in another country so that they can support their families. Scenario four, this youth volunteerism, it appears to be a personal expression of your political principle, and there are more and more people who are doing this nowadays. It is something that we can say is to be emerging, an emerging behavioral pattern. Now, scenario two on political dynasty is a familiar one. It reflects the durability of certain cultural and political practices. Now, what is common among these scenarios presented to you? Selfies, political dynasty, transnational families, youth volunteerism, and mobile gaming. These scenarios may all be considered as manifestations of cultural changes and political changes. New technological platforms that help in communication, self expression, and interaction, they represent cultural changes. On the other hand, possession and expressions of power represent political change.